People don't. I didn't know this about floods, and I should have. When it floods and everything floods, there's shit and piss in that water because that's all coming up.
It's on all of your belongings.
It's flooding out of the toilet. And in Korea, every day shit and piss floods a guy up to his nose. And I wouldn't be able to show my face again to myself. You know what I mean? Like,
it's the same as that lady who got diarrhea dumped on her.
Yes, it's the same as Lana Rhoades. There are some things so dirty that how could you even look at yourself? Don't you fucking hate yourself? Don't you want to take your own life? It's dark out there, man. Shit is dark. Duty, crud, crap. It's dark stuff, man, and they got to do something about it.
Oh my God, someone said, haha, that's my town.
What's
you
your
mean
town?
The Gordon Ramsay
town?
town?
Maryland? You live in Maryland?
Did it work?
I can't believe it. Some days they show you a town on TV, you go, there's a whole civilization here. No one even knows about
Remember
it.
Slovenia?
Slovenia. Have you heard about this?
Wow.
Millions of towns, millions of people doing their own fucking thing out there. It's unreal. Shut it down. All right, I got to move on here. People want my opinions on a lot of stuff. Here's another one, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do here. Because if I catch one of you guys doing this to my friend Mark Maron is going through what's called an Oswald killing. Look at this. Mark Maron's girlfriend, Lynn Shelton. Shocking death at the age of 54. This is Mark Maron's current girlfriend. Now, the only reason I don't have as much...
Well, not current.
You got that right. This is somebody who's boyfriend and girlfriend with maggots and worms and the ground, or she's boyfriend and girlfriend with a crematorium. And there's Mark Maron, and that's his ex-girlfriend that he lost to death. Now, let me tell you something. Those are all funny jokes. You're losing your humanity when somebody's wife dies and you make fun of him the day his wife died.
I actually cried reading this article. Well, it was so sad.
Save it. Shut up. This is not where I'm going with that. How about if you ever say anything gay, shut up.
Just being honest.
Yeah. But I do want to, we do such a wild show. We say some wild things. And this was posted in the Bring Back group. And 10 of you were just laughing like hyenas. And I bet people trolled him because the Patton Oswalt wife death opened the door to, hey, someone's wife dies. You're allowed to accuse him of murder the next day and laugh at his wife death. I'm telling you right now, if Jules dies, there is no more Red Bar. I'm fucking done with this. I am not starting over. I will kill myself.
Same. I'd kill myself.
There is no way. Too. And so that's where I draw the line on this thing. Don't go to Mark Maron's page and go, ha ha, your wife died, ha ha ha. That's not what we're doing at Red Bar, although it's very eerily close to what I'm doing. But that's too far. That's where you've lost all humanity, and you got to have some sort of line. You can't just go, ha, 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 she's gone. What, did you kill her? What did you... Imagine the fucking pain of losing your wife. I mean, Jesus, fuck. Telling you, I will be in a series of pain. There will be no show if you die. Seriously, I'm just wrapping it up. I can't put on the fucking smile anymore. There's no...
I'm
will not go on.
I'm
even listen. No, it's not about you. I'm even debating whether or not this next dog that dies of mine, I might not do the show anymore. It's too much death.
I was thinking this morning about how barely any of the new guys even know about Chula. You never talk about
I don't
him.
care what they know. The last thing on my mind is what they know. I want them to know very little. If Jules dies, Red Bar ends. So go kill her. I don't give a fuck. But I do think about it all the time. Imagine having to start over and tell somebody your whole fucking story. I mean, that is the worst part to me.
I always think about me dying in my sleep and then you waking up in the morning and then I'm laying there and you think I'm still sleeping and then you're like, Jules, and it's just my corpse. And then you're there with my corpse in the bed and you have to figure out what to do about this.
Cut up the body and hide the evidence. Yeah, cut you up. Cut that pussy up!
Just fun to think about.
Sell the tits and the pussy! That's the first thing that goes through my mind when a chick dies. Sell the pussy and the tits as products on the store.
Someone says if Mike dies, Jules would marry Michael Richards.
Yeah, that's like the second coolest Mike for me. That's
Sounds
very
cool.
funny. So if I die, that's in my will that you must marry Michael Richards. Now, why do we say that? Because he's a nigga! Say it. That's Michael Richards went on stage and went, he's a nigga! You're a nigga! Hang the black man! And for that, he has my respect and support. All right, that was light news. Now, things are going to start taking a turn for the cool. Don't worry, okay? But please, don't make fun of people who their dad just died. Or their wife just died. That's like a hell that I can't even imagine. I won't even allow you to do it. That's what I'm saying. If Jules dies, I'm just turning the internet off. You'll never hear from me again. Because there's no way I'm going to sit back and watch people go, ha ha, your wife's dead, and this is a normal thing we're allowed to do because we did it to Patton.
He was
That's
a special
fucking
case.
sick.
He was a special
That's
case.
twisted. You're going to be... I don't think that's even a special case. I think that's too twisted. I think that's too crazy.
Well, it's because you have such a wonderful wife.
So people want my take on the Dave Portnoy call her daddy situation. Remember call her daddy? Let's pull up a picture of these Torms. Now
That's the original.
Yeah, the OG Torm Delgado, and you might hear, man, those are some righteous Torms. Man, those are some big boogaloos. We brought up this show, Call Her Daddy. Call her daddy. No, call her daddy. No, call him daddy. Call us daddy. It's a show on Barstool Sports. Are you guys stoolies? Do you watch stool scenes? Do you watch The Pizza Man? Do you know about Suit Man? These are all things that Big Mike just got into a month ago. He has no idea what's going on. He pretends he likes Dave Portnoy because that guy gets his bag. Anyone who gets a bag, like if you're able to get money, you're the best guy. He day trades. Damn, I would do anything to day trade and have people think I'm the man who gets the bag. There's a lot of people out there, their whole life is surrounded by getting that bag. Hustle, get that cash. Isn't it cool? And they're just fans of guys who get cash. Like there are people out there just like, I'm into Gary Vee. Why? Because he gets money. Here's the Call Her Daddy girls. Do you know these? And we were introduced to them when they were starting their podcast up. They were doing a podcast tour. They came to LA. They were on The Fighter and the Kid. And was Andrew Santino on that episode?
Yeah, we
Yes.
accused him of flirting with them.
Yeah, Andrew.
And cheating.
So we covered these two when they were on The Fighter and the Kid with Andrew Santino and all those
And
guys.
I'm pretty sure we covered them when they were on Impulsive,
Yeah,
too.
they were also on Impulsive with Hey Big Michael and all these guys. And we were like, man, these girls are shitty. And one of our fans who was around for a while, he was one of the popular heads. His name was Torm Delgado. That's his real name, Torm. And in the chat, we hate sex talk. We don't sit around and go, damn, nice ace. Listen, don't mistake that too by that I hate ass. I saw some guy, the other day I was going, ooh, every time I see an ass, that's just a fart. That is just a butt fart. That is a fart machine. Look at that, Keister. Listen, I'm against these women getting money out. I just feel like the whole clout ass bubble is retarded. But listen, I still have the wirings of a human being. And when I see those rear ends alone, those rumps, that meat, oh, I get twisted, Jules. I crave the meat. I need those cheeks. I'll do anything. I'll scratch, I'll claw. I'll claw at myself when I see those cheeks. But I will never sit around and admire the rear end of some dummy just because I have no self-control. And that's what we hate here at Red Bar. I had a guy on that last episode. I was going, oh, I hate these keisters. He goes, dude, sorry, man. That's where I got to disagree with you. Ass fucking rules. And it's like, ugh. So you don't get Red Bar and also you need to share with the other men in the room that you'd fuck her. You know, you hear guys all the time, I'd fuck that. Of course. Why are you telling us this? Is telling me this part of your kink? Do you feel hornier? Are you getting sexy? Don't get sexy with me, is my point. So there are the Call Her Daddy girls, and when we first pulled them up, we had this listener named Torm Delgado. Now, he was, he is well-versed in my little crazy rules that change every fucking second. And he's very familiar with my rule of, we don't publicly talk about our cravings for women here. It is beneath us, and we're better than that. And we pulled these girls up, and he goes, yeah, but I think, does the blonde have, like, huge tits? Remember that? It was something like that.
Of course.
He was like, does the blonde have some big tits? As if, like, that makes things okay. You know who has big tits? Nearly every dummy! There's some people out there, they don't give a fuck what's up here. They don't give a fuck what's below. As long as there's big... They don't give a fuck if they're big and fat. They don't give a fuck if they're perky. As long as they're big, they're in. And he said this, and then we all laughed and laughed and laughed. And from then on, you've heard this, we call breasts torms. Damn, that's some nice torms.
I think I'll call them that till I die.
And we'll post pictures of women, and we'll tag Torm Delgado. Go, what do you think, Torm? Pretty good, huh? It's very funny, very cute, very community-y. We bond over things like this. But the Call Her Daddy girls are in the news because they think they're too good for Barstool Sports. I said this today. I'm not going to cover the story. I'm going to chime in on the story. I've never really had to do this. Usually I cover things. These are my personal tales, right? So I don't really like covering a story that's not my tale. I could only hope for this one, and it's light news, that you know what's going on here. That might be a little vague. But Dave Portnoy, the owner of Barstool, and this is a chime-in. I've never really done a chime-in without telling you the whole fucking thing. I get nervous. I need everybody to know exactly what I know, or I feel like I'm doing you a disservice, so this might not even work. They were testing the waters here. This is called Mike Does a Chime-In. You got to know the story. You got to know the story. I want to say this about Dave Portnoy. I really am impressed with what he's portraying to the public, and I'll tell you why. Barstool Sports, and again, I don't have examples. You just got to know this fucking shit today. Barstool Sports is like a sports network, right? You would think, what would I have in common? I hate sports. First of all, if you didn't know that, I got asked by a guy. I don't know if he was joking or not, but you're not going to get an answer from me. He goes, what's your favorite baseball team? There's a guy. I don't have fucking favorites, first of all, of anything except colors, eye color, hair colors. I hate baseball. I hate all sports. I hate anything where I see people being... And here's what it is. It's not the actual sport that makes me mad. It's the people that become something that I think is beneath them. So when I watch sports, what am I looking at? I'm looking at the screamers, the men who have haunted our bars and stadiums for years that just become so overwhelmed with the game that they scream so loud that my appetizers are falling on the floor. I'm at a bar, pub, and grill, and I'm there because they got a sampler platter and a high top. I am not there for the game. So when I'm about to take a bite of my onion ring dipped in ketchup and I hear, yeah! And 8 men are up screaming, I'm furious. There is nothing I hate more than a batch of screaming men because their fake game scored a point. I always say this, it's set up for someone to score. You know, I could see you jumping out of your seat and having this unbelievable time if they were doing something that's never been done before. This game has been set up, folks. One of the other teams is going to win. It's not really a victory because there's a 50% chance. Someone is coming out a winner today. So for you to go through, and especially in 2020, for you to allow yourself to be tricked on such a high level so that you can enjoy this community activity It's no different than cosplay, than playing dress up. It's no different than being a nerd at a Comic-Con.
No different than being transgender.
It's no different than being transgender. The men screaming in batches is enough to make me hate whatever they're screaming at. I don't care if they're screaming it. If Jules was on the screen and they were all into that, then I'd divorce you. Whatever those, because whatever those men are fucking screaming about is too much for me. I need to be against whatever that is.
What if it's a group of girls screaming? Is that better?
Worse. I don't want anyone screaming unless it's me and I'm causing a disturbance at a store. I hate all sports. I hate the community aspect. I hate the feeling that they think they're feeling when their team wins. This is the most lost souliest of lost soul things you could do. It is the world's biggest hoax, biggest trick. And I'll tell you what, it's something that should have died out in the 1940s. The fact that you're still carrying on this tradition is one of your biggest mistakes. You don't need it. You think you need it. You think you got an answer for it all. Nobody has more arguments for your little answers than me. I could go on all day. So don't even try one just because I missed one. Yeah, I can't give you every argument. We'd be here for 10 hours. So don't give me any. I've thought of them all.
Don't worry, nobody's trying.
Sports suck. And it's outdated and it's cringe. So you would think I would hate Dave Portnoy. Now here's my beautiful point, and this is so good. Dave Portnoy is the owner of this Barstool Sports. They're a sports company. Now I watch Dave Portnoy almost every day, and I have for a year, doing something. He's everywhere. Yet he's never bothered me with his sports shit. How is this possible? He's the owner of Barstool Sports. He's obsessed with the game. And yet I never once said, enough with the sports stuff, please. Ever. And he's in my life every day. He's doing pizza reviews, unboxings. He's got he's got such diversity in what he has to offer to people. And you would think that it would be mostly sports related, but there's no sports to be found when I watch him almost. Even when we watch all those Barstool shows on YouTube, there's like barely any sports. Where are people getting the sports stuff? I don't even know. So I was thinking about it and I go, that's what you want to be. And that's what we wanted Gavin McInnes to be. Gavin McInnes was a lifestyle guy. He gave you a little bit of everything and you just wanted his opinion on things because it was just interesting to hear a unique spin on things. Very similar to what Dave Portnoy's takes are on things. It's unpredictable. It offers a surprise a lot. You never know where they're going to go, and they're always breaking character and doing something else. This is a huge thing for me, people that break character. That's like the biggest thing in the world. There's so many guys, you know what they're going to be like tomorrow. We know what Tony Hinchcliffe is going to be like tomorrow. We know what he's going to be like a month from now. He does one thing. I like a guy where one day he's doing something, you go, I would have never fucking guessed he'd be doing that. And Dave Portnoy is one of these guys. Every day he's got a surprise for you. Now, imagine if Gavin McInnes handled his favorite activity, politics, as well as Dave Portnoy handles his favorite activity, sports. He could have done it. You know, Gavin McInnes, if he just handled sports the way, handled politics the way Dave Portnoy handled sports, he would have been great. But no, Gavin let politics take over. And now he's living in the fringe. You can't even like him if you want to. It seems so dirty and icky and scary. And are you involved in a gang? Are you not involved in a gang? So I wanted to give a big shout out to how Dave Portnoy is handling this beef with Call Her Daddy. It's, it should be inspirational to everybody out there. That's how you should handle things. He's not getting mad. He's not falling for traps. He's having fun with his debate. This is what I like to do. You don't fall for traps. You get in a fight with Hey Big Mike, for example. Now, let's say Hey Big Mike does shoot back. This is where everybody loses. And I watch these internet beefs go on, and then they always go away, right? And there's usually never a clear winner. This is what happens every time there's an internet beef. Somebody will talk a lot of shit, and then the guy talks a lot of shit back, and then the person who originally talked shit loses track and starts just defending everything the guy said about them. And then it's just this bitchy, whiny war, and then both parties get too shook to deal with it, and they go, I just don't want to have any beef. Nah. That is fucking gay, and I watch you do it all the time. I will never get hung up in the, this wasn't about me in the first place. That's where you got to keep your mind. Like, for instance, and I'm using Hey Big Mike because he's our latest. Hey Big Mike, me calling him out has nothing to do with me. It never has, and it never will. You got to keep that in your mind. People forget about this. You call someone out for what they're doing, then they're going to hit you back and try to discredit you by calling you out for stuff. Don't get caught in those weeds. Go right back to your accusations. This was never about you. They're just playing a dirty trick to discredit you so that they can have a win. Don't let them have that win. You just keep hitting them about the stuff they're doing. Wasn't that the original point? But no, everybody fucking falls to that because they don't want to be. No one has the guts to let someone say something terrible about them without correcting it. This is where everybody screws up because they think it's like this permanent stain on their reputation, as if anyone cares. So let people accuse you and say these things about you. You don't need to defend yourself. That makes you look more guilty. Just stick with your original point. That's what Dave Portnoy is doing. He should be an inspiration to all and take his lead on how to fight with somebody. Very exciting. And I wish the Call Her Daddy girls nothing but the worst. What I would like to see happen is that Sophia, she's the thin-haired, high forehead, worse one. I'd like to see her lose it all and have nothing to deal with anything and fade into what's called Anthony Cumia's obscurity. That's what I would like. And I don't care. I would like for Barstool to hire Alex, the blonde, Torm, the big, huge tits.
A rift, if you will.
Do something, yes. Do something with her. I don't give a fuck. But end that Sophia for good. Okay? Good take. You like Dave Portnoy? Sweet guy. I would say start watching those pizza reviews. Very funny. But Hey Big Mike pretends he likes Dave Portnoy. He doesn't really know why he likes him. It's just about, I love all rich guys that school people. Yeah, that's it, man. Every guy that Big Mike likes and every movie he likes and every song he likes is a tough guy fantasy. You notice that? Every one of Big Mike's favorite movies is a movie where a guy, like Fight Club, like, I would kill to be that cool. Every lady wants you and the guys want to be you. Every song he likes is that. Every guy he likes is that. It's a fag's swamp. All right, so that was that. That was the Call Her Daddy. And now we get into our big news here today. Everybody wants to hear my take. Are you ready for this? Joe Rogan, come on down. The powerful one, the big JRE. Would you like to hear about him? You don't know anything, Los Angeles fool guy. You're a faggot. My gushing over Portnoy is beneath Red Bar. No, it's not. And that's why it happened. Me gushing over anyone else. And that's not fucking gushing. You're a fag. If I ever see you, I'm going to beat the fuck out of you. You understand? Kill him. You have my permission. Oh, I hate this fucking chat. I hate reading it.
I know some guy just said, not even joking, how does Jules deal with the endless negativity and anger?
Kill him! All right, I got to talk about Joe Rogan. We got to talk about the powerful Jerry. Can you believe we let you even fucking have a word? And is any other podcast letting you have a say and the host gets to read it? You know, please. The fact that I scream at two of you per show is a blessing. Imagine if Joe Rogan had to read this shit during his show. He'd have a meltdown. Which is what I actually have during the show, but I just dry it up and I continue. Oh my God. At least on my behalf, so I don't have to do it. Can you treat anyone that goes against me in the chat, if you like the show, treat them like fucking hell. For me, as a friend, as a favor. I got to tell you about Jerry. Don't you want to hear about him joining Spotify?
Very exciting.
This is big fucking news. Let's break this out. Here he is, the powerful one, Jerry. And he had this show. This is so bad. Man, this is a bad one. The people are upset here today. He had a little episode with Patton Oswalt, a little Skype in session. Of course, Patton Oswalt doesn't leave the house. He's tied to his Twitter tubes and machines so they can continue to tweet. This is Joe Rogan, 1476, the episode I'm calling The Beginning of the End. This is really where it all will go downhill, and for many reasons, which I will show you right now. Let's hear his big announcement that came out of nowhere. Now, again, imagine if I announced something in this manner. Let's show you.
Hello, everybody. I have an announcement. The podcast is moving to Spotify. I signed a multi-year licensing agreement with Spotify that will start on September 1st. Starting on September 1st, the entire JRE library will be available on Spotify as well as all the other platforms. Then somewhere around the end of the year, it will become exclusive to Spotify, including the video version of the podcast.
Wow.
It will be the exact same show. I am not going to be an employee of Spotify. We're going to be working with the same crew, doing the exact same show. The only difference will be it will now be available on the largest audio platform in the world. Nothing else will change. It will be free. It will be free to you. You just have to go to Spotify to get it. We're very excited to begin this new chapter of the JRE, and I hope you're there when we cross over. Thanks.
Whoa! Interesting way of telling us what's going to happen. Thanks for talking it out with your community. You know, and this is the reason that the show will start going downhill. You know, he didn't even give you the respect. People who've been with this Joe Rogan experience for this many years, you're owed a little respect. You're owed a little talking out. Joe Rogan made this decision, and then he comes on the screen. Did you see his face? Well, I got to pull that back up. Hold on.
I know, we have to study this tape.
We got to study this. Comes on the screen and stares you in the eye, and you could tell his eyes like he doesn't have it in his eye. I got to pull that back up. What did I do with it? You could tell he knows you're not going to like this decision. That's it. You could tell he knows you're not going to be cool with this. Here, let me just pull that up again so I could have my place. Look at this. And we also don't get announcements from Joe in this manner ever.
No.
You know, you've been watching this show for 8 years, and it's now, here is what is happening. It is an exclusive deal. And you're going, whoa, what is going on? You know, this deserves a half-hour conversation with the audience. Hey, we're thinking of going to Spotify, or hey, we went to Spotify. Here's why.
Some sort of explanation.
Sell it to us. You owe it to us. It doesn't matter if the show's fucking free. Our time is not free. We've dedicated our time to you. You're taking our time now. We want to know, why are you doing this? Especially because I have 5 instances of you saying you would never do this, which I'm going to play for you right after. We've done a little bit of research here today to pull up the 5 times Joe has sworn he'd never go to Spotify after being asked by their salespeople to come on down. So, yeah, we want a little bit of, consideration here as a viewer. It comes off really, really mean when you do it like this. What the fuck? Shut the fuck up here.
Hello, everybody. I have an announcement. The podcast is moving to Spotify. I signed a multi-year licensing agreement.
That doesn't sound good. I signed a You could stop right there.
Multi-year.
I signed anything sounds bad. You know, we started watching these podcasts. The reason we fell in love with these fucking shows is because they were alternative media. We were sick of the bullshit on TV. We were sick of the censorship on the radio. You couldn't get anything. These podcasts came out like Red Bar, and they promised us, oh man, no one will control us, dude. You could say and do whatever you want here. And about 4 or 5 years ago, they completely forgot about that when they started introducing MeUndies, Stamps.com, and all the other horseshit advertisers that they brought on so that they could make millions. Now, regardless of what you think, the minute some other man is paying you to do anything, he is your boss. Yeah, sure, you could sit around with a man and and agree for days that he will have no input on the content.
You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want. The minute you take a penny from a company to either advertise or stream with them or do a concert with them, the minute you're in cahoots with any other fucking man, you work for that man. Whether or not they're telling you what to do doesn't make a difference. If you work with Spotify and then all of a sudden Spotify doesn't want you saying certain words, you're just not going to say them. What are you going to do? Quit Spotify? You have a multi-year something with them. Remember, you got a multi-year thing. So maybe next year Spotify is like, we will not allow, any talk whatsoever about Donald Trump. They're going to comply. I say this all the time. The minute you have an advertiser, well, you got to be cool with them. Okay, so let's say the advertiser's not coming to you and saying you can't say anything, but let's pretend MeUndies is completely anti-Trump or something like that. Well, then you're not going to sit there and talk about how cool Trump is and then do a MeUndies ad. You're not going to want to offend the hand that feeds. So they self-censor, you see. They self-censor themselves to keep that income coming in. And we watch them do this with ads, okay? We've watched them do this with YouTube rather quickly. YouTube demonetizes us for saying bad words, so we just will not say the words. What? We use YouTube as a clip channel, as an advertisement for you to come here so that we could say whatever we want. We get asked every day, why isn't the full episode on YouTube? Just put them up. Are you kidding me? We wouldn't be able to say a damn thing. We wouldn't be able to show you any content without getting yanked right off. Haven't you ever watched the Joe Rogan Experience? They can't even play a fucking clip from somebody they know. It's awful. But they conform to that real quick. Boy, did the podcasters conform to the YouTube policies right quick. They conform to any policy. I've got some proof right here, actually, from Fighter and the Kid. Wait till you hear this. I mean, this is a really bad thing. Is this it, Bent Pixels here, Jules?
Yeah.
Bent Pixels. Listen to this. I can't believe nobody pointed this out to me. Where did we learn about this?
Oh, someone pointed it out in the BBG.
Now I'm getting the Joe Rogan Experience again here. Is this right? Fight Companion?
Yeah.
28 minutes in. Is it 28 or 26?
26, I think.
26.
It should be where it is.
Okay, 26. Listen to this. Brendan Schaub, Brian Callen, Fighter and the Kid. Sorry, I was confused. This looks exactly like the fucking episode I was just showing you with Patton Oswalt.
He's wearing the exact same color shirt, but the Patton Oswalt one has a hood.
Oh, wow. Remember, these are long onesie Henley night shirts that he wears. I don't know where you get these on it. Listen to this, though. Should disturb you.
As it gets.
Did I send that to you guys, that article about the San Diego guy? Yeah, here it is. I'm going to send it to you, Jamie, because it's
how
so
about San
crazy.
Diego with the 6 deaths?
6 That's what I'm sending.
I sent that to you. Oh, no, you sent it to me.
If you talk about that, you can be taken off YouTube. When those doctors who said that you have a 0.03% chance of dying in LA or something like that, and that video was taken down. Facebook and YouTube will take down your video if they consider it.
I got something for you, Brian. You'll enjoy this. You'll love this. I just found out from our boys at Bent Pixels.
Okay, Bent Pixels. Hold on. You got to hear this. This is big. Bent Pixels is Joe Rogan and Brian Callen and all their production company or whatever the fuck they are. Again, another weird company that we're all involved with that has never been discussed. There's been zero transparency from Joe Rogan. Hey, I want to know about this stuff. You're all of a sudden working with a giant company called Bent Pixels that has control over your YouTube, that it's issuing copyright strikes on people. You need to tell us about these things. All of a sudden, there's this company, Bent Pixels, that takes down Joe Rogan videos, and then Joe pretends, oh, it's not me, it's Bent Pixels. Well, then don't work with them if they're so horrible. But they all work with this company, Bent Pixels, that fucking came out of nowhere that we're supposed to know about. This is, again, like, are you running independent media or is this your boss? Because it sounds like Bent Pixels is running the show. And I'm going to play you. This is what I was going to play you. But I wanted you to know who Bent Pixels was. Listen to this.
I got something for you, Brian. You'll enjoy this. You'll love this. I just found out from our boys at Bent Pixels. They go, hey, can you and Brian in the first 5 minutes not talk about penises or cuss? I go, who gives a fuck, dude? He goes, YouTube's demonetizing your channel and taking when you cuss in the first 5 minutes.
Wow. Can you guys not say anything about dicks or swear within the first 5 minutes? We want to play by YouTube's rules. And believe me, they went along with it. You know why? Money. Okay? So they're not about freedom of speech, fuck government, fuck censorship, unless it takes away from our money. Okay? So Bent Pixels, a company they swore would never get involved in the content, is now giving them notes on their content. Don't say this, don't say that. And believe me, they're not going to do it because it cuts in with their money. So don't tell me that these companies don't get to decide. Don't tell me that the advertisers are the rules. As soon as money's involved, that money's your boss.
And now Joe has a multi-year exclusive deal with a company.
Yes.
At least if YouTube was censoring him, he could just decide to not use YouTube anymore, but he can't do that with Spotify now.
But they should do that too. Listen, if your full episodes are on YouTube and you're cutting things from what you want to say to appease YouTube, you're a fucking fag. You must quit YouTube if that's the case. And do your show uncensored somewhere else. Otherwise, you're following many rules. Okay, this is not an alternative to traditional media anymore. Let's go back to Joe Rogan's tape. Again, this is a big, big deal. And we're going to show you who's excited about this deal and who's not. That's going to speak volumes. Listen to this. Here, we go back to Rogan here, his announcement.
With Spotify that will start on September 1st. Starting on September 1st, the entire JRE library will be available on Spotify as well as all the other platforms. Then somewhere around the end of the year, it will become exclusive to Spotify.
Exclusive to Spotify. You know, talk about all the technical issues there that you're going to have. People are all on YouTube. They're all hanging out on YouTube. The reason Joe Rogan's show does so well on YouTube is because people are on YouTube. Here's a personal story. Every night I wake up after I've fallen asleep, and there's a Joe Rogan episode playing.
Yep.
Literally every night. Every fucking night. Even episodes that I've watched fully and finished again.
If you click a video involving anyone that has been on Joe Rogan ever, the next video will be their Joe Rogan appearance, no matter what.
Joe Rogan's videos get, for every one real click that Joe Rogan gets on YouTube, there are probably 7,000 that are just replays or auto plays or whatever YouTube wants to do. He's recommended everywhere. I don't think he understands how that ecosystem works. The community. Ain't nobody on Spotify. There's no community there. Yeah, you're listening to some songs there. It's a mobile device. They don't have it on Apple TV. Most people aren't using Spotify in that manner. And depending on what device you have, maybe you're using Apple Music. Maybe you're not using Spotify at all.
Spotify is trying to be like the new home for podcasts. They're trying to switch it up a little bit because they've bought other podcast networks. So
of course.
This is what I mean. Joe's going to just help them do that. He's going to go with them before they've even solidified themselves as the place for podcasts.
Here's the thing. You need to tell us why you're going with them.
Exactly.
We shouldn't be sitting here furious trying to figure out why the fuck you're doing this. You know, that's what I mean. It needs to be more than a 2-second announcement from the governor, about what the changes are going to be with these teary eyes. He can't even look us in the eye. He knows it's bullshit. Look at his face. So, yeah, that's why you need to talk it out and tell us what's going on. Did you make this decision for us or was it for you? I'll tell you what, and this is telling. Joe Rogan posted this little announcement on Instagram. And, you know what? I never fucking opened those. Or wait.
No, I got them.
Oh, you've got them right here. Great.
Just open them in the order.
Oof, dark mode?
I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I hate dark mode screenshots. I am not a dark mode user. Okay, let me open these suckers up.
You know me in the dark.
Yeah, let me open these up and see what we got here. Okay, dark mode. Look at the difference here. And this is interesting. All the blue check marks on Instagram love this. Now, why would they care if he's on Spotify? Listen to this. This is Tom Green. Congratulations, Joe. Keep pushing the limits, pal. Now, I think Tom Green, that might be he might have a different agenda there. Keep pushing the limits. I think he knows Joe is a big sellout, and he keeps teasing him. Who are some of these? Jocko Willinks, legit. Ari Shafir. Okay, that's not really good. Let's see some of these next ones here. The blue checks. Congrats, Joe. Theo Vaughn, congrats. Oh, give me my Logan Pauls and my Big Mikes. Where are you guys?
I couldn't find those this
No.
morning.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean,
this is the problem with Instagram. This
it's
is
because
killing me.
there's so many comments on
I'll
that
paraphrase.
post.
I'll paraphrase. Logan Paul. Yes, this rules. Big Mike was one of the top comments. Get that bag. Get that bag. But here's what's interesting. I've made my point. Don't worry. You don't need to find them, Jules.
Okay.
Jim Gaffigan. Boom. All the blue check marks are so happy, celebrating. Now, this is interesting. Joe Rogan is filthy fucking rich. I don't know how much money he has, but I bet his bank account's got over 40 million in it now. That's enough.
They're saying people think this is a $200 million deal.
I don't know about that, but let's pretend that it is a $200 million deal. Why is that of any interest? Why would that make anyone happy? What is in it for the fans? Him getting a ton more money is only bad for us. That means that he's got a lot more to lose, and he's got to be a lot more careful, and he's going to take a lot less risks, and he's a big mainstream player now. He's everything that the show was built upon, everything that the show promised to be is now owned, and I will say this, owned. Whoever's paying you most is your owner, bro. Whoever's paying you most is your boss, because you're not going to fuck yourself out of that deal. Okay? Right? There's got to be some kind of terms here. You know? But it's interesting. The blue check marks are all celebrating. Now, why would they celebrate that? Well, could it be that that's the only reason they exist as well? And you got to think about this. Think about the blue check mark thing. You don't just wake up one day to a blue check mark. Do you know how you get a blue check mark on Twitter or Instagram? You campaign for it. All right. You go to your manager and you go, is there any way I could have a blue check? Oh my God, people would think I'm so famous. And they go, I called Instagram today. Sorry, they can't do it. And then you'll get the call one day from your manager. I got big news, Big Mike. I got you that blue check. And they go, yes! And they celebrate. And I've seen tape of these people celebrating. You have to campaign for that. So these people, they're not in the business of you. Any blue check mark, it's already a tell that they're only in business for themselves. Now, this is a tough one for people to swallow. They don't seem to understand. Well, who doesn't love money? Who isn't just in this for money? Okay, maybe. I have a fundamental difference with this thing. I believe if you're an artist, if you want to call yourself an artist, art has to come first, money second. You do great art and then you're rewarded for it. You don't change what you're doing and manipulate your art to get the money, okay? A real artist just, oh my God, I'm getting paid for it. Oh, well, yeah, I'll take it. But you don't craft a plan to make that money, okay? I know that's a tough sell for people. People aren't going to understand that one. But your blue check marks, they want that fucking money. That's why they're celebrating Joe Rogan so hard. Where are the ones from the real fans? Now let's show you the contrast between the real fans.
Just click them in order and it'll become
click
clear.
them in order, and now you'll see what the real fans are saying. This is still blue checks, and believe me, they're in this thing where we got to talk about the pod communities where all the blue check marks are in chat groups together, and they go, Joe Rogan posted a new one, go on there and post something good. It's like this. We'll go over that in a bit. But where are the ones from the people? Here, you let me know when they come up.
Yep, here.
Here's a regular guy. I hate everything now. Here's a regular guy. RIP. Here's another one. Not dope. Spotify is trash. Boo. No. This is disgusting. Whatever happened to not getting into bed with big companies? And it goes on and on again. So the people, the fans, who the show's supposedly about, they all hate the Spotify deal and find it icky and gross for all the reasons that I stated. But the blue check marks love it. Oh, get that bag, bro. Congrats. Congrats on what? Getting more money? You know? So very exposing, very telling, very gross, and it really is the beginning of the end for Joe Rogan. Now, what is going to happen to the YouTube channel? This is where people are watching that show. Are they going to fudge?
No comments. Nobody's allowed to comment on Joe Rogan anymore.
No.
I feel like he's not thinking about how big of a part of the show that is. Like, people want to go on YouTube and watch Joe Rogan and then talk about it in the comments.
I don't know how he's going to be able to inflate those numbers for Spotify the same way YouTube inflates them for him. Again, Joe Rogan's probably getting 25% of those actual views that happen on YouTube. Is there a way for them to do that on Spotify? Will you be joining Spotify to continue the Joe Rogan experience, or will this show start fading into obscurity? Remember, if you're not on like the big thing, YouTube really is like this hub right now.
And YouTube is like, as stupid as it is, if I need to find something you said about Joe Rogan, I go on YouTube and search Joe Rogan this, and it's up there in 5 seconds. Spotify isn't as easy to navigate. Like, I can't find any podcast ever within seconds. So the search is way worse.
It doesn't matter. They want to be the new Netflix. They want to own everything. Again, I talked about at the beginning, infinite growth is all that anyone fucking cares about. And they just want to make, Joe's got it all. He's got enough money to last for the rest of his life and 10 lifetimes over. So we're going, why is he taking this Spotify deal? What's going on? Let's go back in time, though.
And the other thing I was going to say is Spotify is only available in like 70 countries, and tons of people like from Russia and all these places were like, oh, I don't have Spotify.
Maybe they'll get Spotify. Maybe this is Spotify's plan. But what did Spotify say to Joe that made him throw away his principles and all these points he's made? Let's go back in time. The Joe Rogan Experience 1016 with Steven Tyler here. Let's just go through these and see what he had to say about Spotify. You know, Spotify has been scouting him for years. Come over to Spotify, Joe. Come over to Spotify. And Joe has always said, hell no. This is the stuff we cheerlead, right? Joe would come on a show and go, Spotify approached me. They wanted me to come over there exclusively. I'd tell them no. And what does that do? Then we go, fuck yeah, Joe's the real deal. So when he says now that he's joining, that's where all these people are going, wait a minute, so you're not the real deal. You're the definition of a sellout. Let's hear Joe's prior stance on joining Spotify. Let's see what he says.
It should be that.
Steven Tyler.
I do think that's the reason why we're not on that. We're not on Spotify, and the reason why we're not on it is because it didn't make any sense. They were like, we want to put you on. It's going to be great for you. I'm like, how's it great?
Yeah.
You guys are going to make money. Like, you guys are making money. You don't give us any. That whole streaming thing is this weird smoke and mirrors song and dance they put on. You're going to be a part of something big. You're like, but what are you selling? All you sell is artists' work. You don't have anything to sell.
Yep.
Whoa, does Spotify know you're talking all this smack about them? Do they not care?
And then the artists get paid so little. So where's the money going?
Because he's had all these musicians on Steven Tyler saying, Spotify ruined us. His best friend, Everlast, Spotify fucked us. They give us no money for streaming. And he's heard all these legends say this to his face. So to join a company that's fucked over his legend friends, that's fucked up.
Because there's all these
in their fucking pockets.
They're public companies and they're traded and they're worth millions and billions. Like, where's all that money? Where's it going? What's generating it?
It's all going to you now. All right, let's continue. That was him with Steven Tyler. Great stuff there. We got more. Here's the next one. Joe Rogan Experience. Oh, my buddy Everlast. His daughter's got lung disease. Let's see what he says here with Everlast wearing the same hat that Eminem thinks is cool. Check this out.
It's fascinating for me on the outside looking at what happens with labels and how they do things. It's amazing their sort of survival instincts, how they figured out how to stay active.
Labels are signing podcasters now because of streaming. Streaming, like, you should be getting checks from this, Joe.
I don't allow them to stream me.
Honestly, you could.
That's my favorite. I don't allow them to stream me. I got to hear that again. This could be another hit song of mine. I don't allow them to stream me.
I don't allow them to stream me.
Because of streaming. Streaming, like, you should be getting checks from this, Joe.
I don't allow them to stream me.
I don't allow them to stream me. Very cool thing to say.
Honestly, you could.
Pandora, Spotify. I say no.
Well, you'd probably have to be exclusive to one of them, is the deal too.
Well, either way, what they are is just.
It's not just streaming though. Your YouTube views are streaming. That's streaming. It doesn't have to be with a streaming service.
Right.
I mean, but you should have a digital company that is representing you, that's collecting all that. If you don't,
these guys love money. Okay, so there was that one. Streaming, no, I do not allow streaming. I don't want Spotify. Here's another time. Oh, Billy Corgan. Look, it's all musicians. America's top guys. So you had Everlast, House of Pain. That's Jump Around. You had Aerosmith. That's Crazy, Amazing, Crying. Now you got Stab Me with a Star, Cut Me Like You Want Me To. Billy Corgan. Let's see what happens here. America's top bands.
Thing is, so they had to go back and renegotiate all the deals.
Oh my God.
Because of the CD technology. This would have been like whatever 80s. So they went to every artist and they said, look, it's this new technology and we're not sure it's going to work, so you got to take a price cut. We're only going to pay you 75 cents on the dollar so we could advance the new technology.
Oh, Jesus Christ, they're dirty. They're dirty. The Spotify thing is dirty. That makes me uncomfortable hearing how they weaseled that, how they negotiated cheap prices for the performers, then they got an equity position in the company, so as the company grows, because they don't have to pay much and they get all this music, they get money from that.
And now all that money's going to you.
Yeah.
Dark fucking 3D chess shit.
Game of Thrones, man.
It is.
Game of Thrones.
But I mean, obviously, it's an organism surviving in the face of Napster, right? Like Napster comes in, file sharing comes in, and they're like, "Holy shit!" Okay, so the internet is just out there, wild and free, and you can just download the music. The music's now digital. We can't control it, and it's just going.
So there was that one, and then I think, do we even have one more? Oh my God, Wheeler Walker Jr. Is he comedy music? Let's see what he has to say with Wheeler Walker Jr. Can you believe we have this many examples of why Spotify is bad? And then all of a sudden we get, I am going to Spotify. It will be exclusive. It is a multi-million-dollar yearly thing. Good day.
On the fucking playlist because I say fucking dirty words. So I'm losing tons of listeners and I can't get on the, like when you see Florida Georgia Line with 100 million listens, a lot of those are just from automatic listens just from those fucking playlists, and people don't know that shit.
We had an offer to do one of those. Was it Spotify or the other one? Pandora or Spotify?
Yeah, they do podcasts.
And but I was like, well, you guys have an app. You guys have money. Like, what's going on with this? Like, what is this?
Isn't it weird that every time he brings it up, he goes right to money? Every time, every one of these clips he played is like, what are you doing with the money, though? Where's the money? That's telling. So Joe Rogan didn't like Spotify at all when they didn't have the money. They weren't offering money. So they must have offered him what's called money. Now that they have money, Spotify is good. But when they weren't going to give him money, it was bad. And bad for bands, bad for business. But because they have enough money to give it to you now, all of a sudden, Spotify good? What changed for us? Because we're not getting the money.
Like, you guys are just distributing content. So you must be making some money.
Well, they didn't want to pay you?
But it's very, 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 very little. It just doesn't make any sense that you would
I'm one of the few guys who actually
make any sense.
When it gets played, I actually make decent money from
like
Spotify.
How much?
Because I don't...
You don't want to say how much online. But I would...
because I own my own label. Most of those artists have...
So when he said stuff like this 5 times, and if you've watched Rogan, you remember these things. So when he comes on with his announcement that they're joining, you go, what the fuck? What the fuck, Joe? And he does not care to respond to that question, what the fuck? He's not going to break down, or he'll do it teary-eyed 3 days from now after he gets the rumblings. He does this every time. People are really dissatisfied, and he'll say something like this, This is what he'll do. He'll endorse Trump right after endorsing Bernie Sanders. This is why he's going to crumble too. It's the contradicting himself in the same week. He'll have Bernie Sanders on and he'll go, I would vote for Bernie. I'll really vote for Bernie. Cut to now. I don't want government involved in anything that I do. I'm moving to Texas where there's no government. I'm going to vote for Trump. You had Bernie Sanders on and you said you were going to vote for him.
A week ago.
What happened? That's a huge difference. Jumping from Bernie to Trump and to move to Texas. That's giant. The other thing he'll do is they say, hey, you said you were going to vote for Trump. And he'll come on teary-eyed the next day after the media grills him and he'll go, I'm an ape don't listen to me. Don't take what I say with any grain of salt. How are you going to get yourself out of this one? 5 times you said no to Spotify. Now you're taking the exclusive deal.
He and Bridget Phetasy were just saying
Bridget
that on the,
Phetasy. Man,
on the
do I have
episode
a...
with her, they were both going, don't listen to us for your politics news.
Well, then, okay.
And then Bridget Phetasy has just like a politics show.
Literally, they're sitting around this woman, Bridget. Don't listen to us for politics. But that's your line of work.
Yeah, what you saying?
I don't know what's going on anymore. Everybody is getting so loupé.
Did you want to hear a take from none other than Todd Detter?
What the fuck? Todd Detter's back?
He's back.
The real Todd?
I mean, I hope so, but it sounds like the real Todd.
I'm Todd Detter. Yes, I'm the Todd Detter. All you other Todd Detters are just imitating. So want the real, please, Todd Detter, please. Where is he?
He says.
Well, I don't know if this is really him. Can we get Harley to approve this before you open your mouth?
I mean, I feel like Harley. I can recognize the real Todd
No, but
Detter.
I need Harley to verify it. Harley 138 has to verify it before we read anything from. Because it could be a fake. What do you mean?
He's not here.
Yeah, he is. Isn't he?
No.
Well, then we need to hear it from Danny Woodward. We need somebody to verify it. We don't just say things on the show anymore.
It's not that big of a deal. It was just a light comment.
Oh, okay, what's the comment? This could be the real Todd Detter, could be the fake.
He said, I think Joe is burned the fuck out. Probably got a deal to do half as much work for the same income, and he couldn't say no. It's Howard Stern going to Sirius.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing. It's a form of semi-retirement without losing income.
Exactly. And yeah, it is tough. How are you going to turn down that bundle of money? You know, how are you going to turn it down? Well, you got to turn it down. That's what makes you cool, you see. Turning down that money would make you cool. Joe Rogan would be more popular if he came on and told us that he got the Spotify deal and they gave him all this money and he said, fuck off. That's what we need. We need some guy like that. We don't need Mr. Corporation. Spotify's a fucking corporation. That's as mainstream as it gets. Apple Music, all this stuff is just as mainstream as what they said they hated. You know, Joe Rogan sits around and makes fun of Comedy Central. Comedy Central is fucking punk rock compared to Spotify. Are you kidding me?
Didn't Spotify do a thing already where they deleted all of R. Kelly
Spotify
and X's
deleted
music or something like that?
They censor people's music. Yes.
I remember that.
Spotify. So this is no longer alternative media. It is the mainstream media. Spotify is bigger than fucking Comedy Central, which they said they'd never be on. Spotify is bigger than cable stations. So that's what Joe Rogan is now. He's a mainstream hack. So don't watch that show thinking you're getting the real deal. You're getting the mainstream deal. It's mainstream media.
They said he just posted a new episode with Tony Hawk, and they're checking if he said anything about Spotify.
Oh, yeah. See if you could find anything there. I love Tony Hawk. He's a pro skater.
Let us know.
That gets us out of light news.
You love Tony Hawk pro skater style music?
No, I don't, actually. That was a little cringe for me. Here. Light news is cool, and I hope you like that. Light news is nice, and I really like that. Light news. It gets the best of me. Yeah, Michael Gouffet. Mike David is the Mike Gouffet of our generation. Thank you so much. Woo! Michael Gouffet is back. You clout chasers. That's what I call my audience now. Clout chasers. How about Ben Pixels, bro? Dude, I am thick. The thick boy stuff. I'm trying to buy this merch. Pull up thickboy.com. You guys got to help me pick out which thick boy merch. Bro, everything Brendan Schaub says is in the exact same tone. I'm fucking thick. I'm not afraid of math. Bro, all night. I'm starting to hate. I walk around the house and I'll say stuff. Bro, I'm thick. Isn't that bad? Thick boy merch has come out. I'm really starting to hate Brendan Schaub. Again, I should be allowed to.
Since you are in hating him mood, we should watch that clip of him talking about that drunk driving guy. That was a good one.
I would love it. Whatever you got. He's released thick boy merch. He's thick. Brendan, this is really crazy. Brendan Schaub, and he even admitted this during the Rick Glassman show. You know, and this has been going on forever, but if you didn't know this is the deal. Brendan Schaub has body dysmorphia. Yes. Literal, self-admitted body dysmorphia. I opened a store in the mall that sold weird goth makeup called Dysmorphia. It was a cool store. It was a little overpriced. They shut it down. Brendan Schaub has self-admitted body dysmorphia. That's where I draw the line. If I came out on this show and I go, hey guys, I got body dysmorphia, I want you all to quit. This is not to be looked up to. All right? People's weaknesses, just because you admit them doesn't make you cool. That doesn't make you brave. It makes you a fag. Body dysmorphia, I want everybody to die from this who's supposed to. Bulimics, people that starve themselves, people that work out too much. I don't care for you. You're so vain. You're so sick. You're so twisted. Body dysmorphia. And Brendan was getting made fun of, every time he gains a little bit of weight, which is all the time. He gets really sensitive about it. And then he'll pretend for years. Here's the thing. Everyone's going, whoa, Brendan looking a little thick. Brendan looking a little chunky. And he'll be like, fuck the haters. I don't care about any of that shit. And then he'll block you for saying it. So obviously it really hurts him. And then a year later he'll go, I suffer from body dysmorphia, bro. And people would say, dude, you're looking a little thick. That would kill me. So I'd like to do anything to not be like that. And it's like, okay, well, can you apologize to us then? Because for years we made fun of you for being fat and you told us we were stupid and it didn't bother you. Now you're saying you have body dysmorphia and that it killed you? Then you got to go back and say, I'm so sorry for telling everybody I didn't give a fuck. I gave a huge fuck, bro. That mouth, that fucking lisp. Ooh, when I get my hands on you. Old age. That's what I got going for me here. When Brendan Schaub is 90, I'll finally be able to beat him up. But he's taking this body dysmorphia to the next level. I don't know if his therapist helped him come up with this idea. He's named his clothing line Thick Boy Clothing. THICCC. I'm thick. And he's started a mountain biking brand. If you didn't know this about Brendan, he loves, dude, I do trails. I'm not wearing a mask on my mountain bike, bro. I ain't afraid of nothing. Except comments. So we started Thick Boy Bike Club, and they put out all this merch. Which should I get? Here's my problem. All the graphics are on the back. So, yeah, like this would look awesome on me, but that's the front. That's the front. They're showing all the backs. Like, I don't want something that's just a left chest. I need fucking some Thick Boy apparel. Do I get this cool orange hat?
I hate those hats.
I know. I hate those hats.
You're never going to wear that.
I'll wear it once. Which one do I... Ooh, I'm thick. Look at this. Surf and Turf Fight Club. The Fighter and the Kid. I haven't even seen this. Sweet Tartan Ass. This stuff is bad. I am thick. And what's he doing now? He's having a benefit for bikers. He just wants to break quarantine no matter what. Here's something funny about Brendan. Let's take a rewind. Fool. Rewind time. Let's go back. Brendan Schaub. And I can't bring this up anymore because half of you are actually on the side of Brendan Schaub. You don't know what half I'm on. You're never going to get it out of me.
Well, we know.
But half of you are convinced that Corona is a scam. You want to reopen the country. You hate this shit. So does Brendan Schaub. However, it wasn't the numbers. It wasn't the cases. And it wasn't the math. It wasn't the science that swayed Brendan Schaub into thinking quarantine is bullshit. So if you haven't been following, Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen have been like the most anti-corona people. They'll say stuff like, they tell me I gotta wear a mask. I'm like, fuck you. I'll go to a coffee shop. I'll be
Did you want a clip example?
Sure. Here. I don't give a fuck, bro. And you're going, okay, well, maybe he came to this decision because, yeah, the science came out and Corona turns out it's not what we had to worry about. But I want to take you back. And what should I do first? Should I show you the example?
Sure. The top of the list there And then the mask one, there's one that's mask related.
Mask stuff. Okay, yeah, he hates the mask. Oh my God, he's going to get in his fight with his Asian producer. Do I have an Asian sound? I used to have a gong. We need the gong.
Go to 320.
320. Wait till you see this clip. Now, listen, I'm not trying to spark a Corona debate, and in fact, we are better than that. We don't argue Corona facts here. We pinky swore that we're just people. We don't know. We don't have the facts. So what we got to say is, I don't know yet. But just because you read a few things, we've all read the things.
We're waiting and seeing around here.
Just wait and see. Can't you just wait and see? How can we wait and see when people are going to kill them? If you commit suicide because you lost your job, I can't say anything else but good. People committing suicide is not something we should try to prevent. And I'll tell you this, the science is out on this. Only mentally ill people commit suicide. Did you know that?
I think.
No, it's 100% proven.
That's what I mean. Isn't that obvious?
Well, no, it's not obvious. People think circumstance can cause suicide. It can't. You could have like your whole family killed right in front of you. You won't be able to commit suicide unless you were a mentally ill person who is prone to committing suicide.
But could your family killing send you down a mental illness spiral?
It could. Much later, it would take a while.
Okay.
It could. But most likely, all the science I've read is the only people who are capable of killing themselves are crazy. Like, it takes a lot. And losing your job or losing your house will not make a sane person kill themselves. It won't. I've lost all these things. You know, I could tell you this. I went to a boarding school. I hate to call it that. It wasn't a boarding school. It was a crazy, psychotic cult in the middle of the woods in Poland Springs, Maine. They made movies about this place. They shut down the place because it was actually that. And I would tell people this. When you were there, you weren't allowed to even write your family or friends. You were literally trapped, and they lied to your parents telling them it was a school. We got caught up in this whole scam. I really lived through this. But I was there, and there were 200 kids there with me. We were put in the worst possible circumstances, worse than jail, worse than anything.
He just showed me another video of it the other day. It was chilling.
Like, we had to do things. There was no school. There was no nothing. We had to do things where you would, like, wake up and have to scream at people. That was one of the things you do. You wake up, and the minute you wake up, you have to scream at people. I'm not going to get into it, but it was enough that if anything could drive you to suicide, it would have been this place. You know how many people committed suicide there? None. Isn't that strange? But people in mental hospitals try to kill themselves and cut themselves all the time. Nobody at this crazy cult even tried to cut themselves, to do anything like that. Only crazy people do that. Stable people do not commit suicide. They never have. They never will. Bankruptcy doesn't make somebody commit suicide. There's no such thing as going hungry from losing your job as an artist. You don't end up like a crazy bum. Only crazy bums end up like crazy bums. There's no people in the street that are just like well-versed people that are like, hi, I lost my job. I live on the street now. No, they're like, hey, let me get a sandwich. They're crazy. All homeless people are even crazy. You're not going to even get to be a homeless person if you're sane. You'll figure something out. So I really don't buy this, that there's going to be more suicides if we extend the quarantine. And if there is, it's the mentally ill people that are going to commit suicide. And I welcome those suicides. You should too. So my big point at the end is, if you're going to commit suicide, let it happen. You should be allowed to commit suicide. Not being allowed to commit suicide is a form of torture. If you don't want to be here, you shouldn't have to fucking be here. It could be hell for those people. Let them kill themselves. So what? The dad and the mom cry for a week? They didn't like that guy anyway. He's nuts. You didn't go from being a fine, well-established person to a suicider. You've had years of tormenting you and everyone around you. So don't worry about those suicides. Get excited for those suicides. It'll clear a path. Think of all the nuts that'll be wiped out from the suicides. This is nice. This is nice. I promise you it's nice. Let's hear what Brendan's take on these masks are.